Kurinji Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
Kurinji Education Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.in.
In continuation to the last class, in this class we are going to discuss about torque and angular momentum. Torque and angular momentum. Okay, right. See here, first we will focus on torque. So torque you can also call it as moment of force. Moment of force. Okay, right. And here, in our translatory motion, what is the force and what is the role of force and what are the effects and what are the experience happen in case of your body regarding the translatory motion with respect to force. For example, there is a body and if you apply force, what will happen? It moves in one particular direction, right? So that is what along a straight line generally. So this is what happens in case of translatory motion and with respect to force. With respect to the force, okay, that is what, right. But here we are in a discussion of rotational motion now. So what is the analog of force in translatory motion in rotational motion, right? So what is the analogous of force in translatory motion to the rotational motion? So what is the role played by force in case of translatory motion? The same thing is going to played by the torque in rotational motion. That is what the moment of force. That is what moment of force, right? And one more thing I already told you. Here these two are the vectors. That is what torque and angular momentum are the vector quantities. And these are the vector products of two different vectors. For example, if you take this torque, it is the vector product of position vector and force vector, right? And this angular momentum is the vector product of position vector and linear momentum vector, right? So these two are the physical quantities which are the vector products of two different vectors. So this is the vector product of two different vector and this is also the vector product of two vectors. That is what r bar and p bar here, and here r bar and f bar, okay. Right. So now we are going to discuss the role and the involvement of torque in case of rotational motion of a body. So generally we are going to consider rigid bodies, right? So the system of particles, that is what rigid body, right? But first we are going to discuss for a single particle that I can extend to the n number of particles, right? So first our discussion is moment of force about a single particle, okay, right. So we learned in our previous section, right? We learned in our previous section that is what the motion of a rigid body in general is a combination of rotation and translational, right? So the motion of a rigid body in general is a combination of rotation and translation, right? Rotation and translational. See here. So in case of rigid body, in case of motion of a rigid body, that is what because of the combination of rotation and translational, right? If the body is fixed at a point or along a line, it has only rotational motion. If it is not fixed, means it is the combination of rotational motion and that is what translational motion, okay, right. And that the force is needed to change the translational state of a body, that is to produce linear acceleration, right. So afterwards, what is the analog of force in the case of rotational motion? That's what I am saying, it is a torque, right. If you go for daily life example, the best example to discuss the moment of force in case of rotational motion, you know, a door is the best example, right? So a door is a rigid body which can rotate about a fixed vertical axis, right? So a door is a rigid body which can rotate about a fixed vertical axis passing through the hinges, right? You know, a door is a rigid body which can rotate about a fixed vertical axis passing through the hinges, right? You just imagine, you know, in our house or our classroom, whatever it may be, right? Just opening and closing, right? Opening and closing. There, the door is moving based on a fixed axis, right? So that axis is passing through the hinges. At that moment, the door is in rotational motion. Okay, right? You know, here you just think of it. What makes the door is to rotate? What makes the door to rotate? Is it force only? Right? I am asking. I am giving you answer also. Is it force only? Only the force makes the door to rotate, or any something else? Right? So it is clear that unless a force is applied on the door, it doesn't rotate. But any force does not do the job. Any force doesn't do the job, right? A force applied to the hinge, line cannot produce any rotation. A force applied to the hinge line. So if you apply force at the hinges on the hinge line, it will not produce any rotation at all. Whereas a force of given magnitude applied at right angles to the door, at its outer edge. You know, this is the door, this is the door, these are the hinges, it is the hinge line. You know, it is the outer edge, and it is the inner edge, right? So if you apply force here, the door will not get any rotational motion, right? That's why you must apply the force here, that is what, at outer edge, right? Then only you can provide rotational motion to the door. You can provide rotational motion to the door, right? That's what I want to say here. See here, that is what angle of to the door at its outer edge is most effective in producing rotation, right? It is not the force alone, but how and where. It is not the force alone, but how and where the force is applied is important in rotational motion, right? So if it is the door and this is the hinges, these are the hinges and it is the hinge line, if you apply force, absolutely there is no rotation for the door. And if you apply here, okay, possible, but it is difficult. And if you apply here, it is very comfort, right? It is very comfort, and you can provide a rotational motion to the door freely and comfortably, right? That is what I am saying in case of rotational motion. That is the best example. That is what door, right? Either a house, door, or otherwise our classroom door, whatever it may be. Okay, right. Next, see here. So the rotational analog of force, is moment of force, right? That's what we know. I already told you. You know, here it is also referred to as, that is what the moment of force is also referred to as torque or couple, right? Another name like torque, couple, moment of force, all are giving the same meaning, right? Okay. And you know one thing, the words moment of force and torque interchangeably, right? So whatever you want you can use. And you know, if you see that moment of force for the special case of a single particle, right? So first we are going to discuss for single particle, and then our discussion you can extend to the group of particles, that is what rigid body. Okay, right. And you also see that is what see the picture. It is okay. Before going to see the picture, here he has written that is what tau bar is equal to r bar cross f bar. It is what cross, it is the notation or representation. That is what tau bar, right? Tau bar is equal to r bar cross f bar. You know that you can write it as rf sin theta. In our previous class means not previous class, just before that we discussed the vector product of two vectors. There we came to know the magnitude of vector product of two vectors will be like AB sin theta. Suppose if A bar and B bar are the two vectors. Suppose if R bar and F bar are the two vectors, you know the scalar product, the vector product is RF sin theta, right? So tau bar is equal to, because tau is also a vector, you know, the vector product of two vectors gives a vector quantity, right? It has its own magnitude and direction. That's why here, you know, tau bar is equal to R bar cross F bar, right? You see this picture. In this picture you can experience, you know, it is what y axis and x axis and z axis, right? So it is what position vector, and you know it is what force vector, right? So theta is the angle between R bar and F bar, right? And tau bar is equal to R bar cross F bar, and you know it is RF sin theta. This RF sin theta you can write in two ways. One is R sin theta into F, another one is R into F sin theta, right? So whether it is this one or this one, both are correct and both are same. And representation you can also do like this, that is what R sin theta means R perpendicular into F, and here F sin theta means R into F perpendicular, right? And here itself you want to know some information about, that is what torque. You know, torque is a vector quantity, and we are using the symbol, that is what, tau. It is not T, see the head, that is what, right? So it is T means like straight, no, it is like what, tau. So it is a Greek symbol that we are using to represent torque or moment of force or couple. Okay, right. As I told already, moment of force is a vector quantity, right? And the formula for moment of force is, this is what, tau is equal to RF sin theta. And you know what is R? Is the magnitude of the position vector. That is the magnitude of the position vector. You know, that is from O to P in this figure. So this is what R bar, right? So after that, you know, this is what F is the magnitude of force. Capital F is the magnitude of force. F is the magnitude of force, and theta is the angle between R bar and F bar. Theta is the angle between R bar and F bar. And the dimensional formula of moment of force is this one, that is what, m power 1 L square T power minus 2, m power 1 L square T power minus 2, right? And the dimensions of torque and dimensions of work same, okay? Dimensional formula is same, and there is a difference, that is what, that is torque is different and work is different, but the dimensional formula is same. Okay? Moment of force is a vector, but work is a scalar quantity. And you know, the SI unit of moment of force is, you know, Newton meter, because it is Newton, it is meter, right? So the SI unit of moment of force is Newton meter, and the magnitude of moment of force may be written as, right? So that is like this, that is what magnitude of moment of force, right? And it is R perpendicular means it is R sin theta. R sin theta is the perpendicular distance. R sin theta is the perpendicular distance of the line of action of force from the origin. Suppose if it is F means, you know, it is F cos theta and it is F sin theta, right? That is what. Similarly, R sin theta and R cos theta also. Okay, right. So here F perpendicular means F sin theta. F sin theta is the component of F in the direction of perpendicular to R. This is what I already told you. It is what F sin theta. Okay. Next, you know, mathematically you think, conceptually also you think, when moment of force will become 0. When moment of force will become 0? If F is equal to 0, moment of force is 0. If R is equal to 0, moment of force is 0. Otherwise, if theta is equal to 0 degrees or 180 degrees, if theta is equal to 0 degrees or 180 degrees, then moment of force is 0, right? So in 3 cases the moment of force is 0. That is what, in first case F is equal to 0. In second case, if R is equal to 0. In third case, if either theta is equal to either 0 degrees or 180 degrees, the moment of force is 0. right? So thus the moment of force vanishes, that is what became as 0, if either the magnitude of force is 0 or if the line of action of the force passes through the horizon, means r is equal to 0. Otherwise, angle is either 0 degrees or 180 degrees, okay, right. Next, see here, RF sin theta is a vector product, right? Vector product of two vectors, that is what r bar and f bar, right? Suppose if you reverse the direction of force, what will happen? Direction of moment of force is reversed. Suppose if you reverse the direction of both r bar and f bar, direction of moment of force remains the same. This is what we proved and we discussed, we experienced in case of, day before yesterday class, that is what previous class before the class, right? That is what in the topic of vector product, that is what reflection in a mirror, okay, right. So this is about torque in case of single particle, right, okay. Now we are going to discuss about the angular momentum of a particle, right. So till now we experienced linear momentum in case of translational motion. In case of translational motion, we experienced linear momentum, okay. So generally linear momentum is the product of mass and velocity, okay. And angular momentum is the rotational analog of linear momentum, right. So in translational motion, that is what linear momentum. In rotational motion, here we had angular momentum, right. And this angular momentum also referred as moment of linear momentum, okay. That's what I can say. See here, see this, if you observe carefully here, same like linear momentum, right. Angular momentum talks about the situation, right, in case of rotational motion. Linear momentum talks about translatory motion, and angular momentum talks about rotational motion, okay. You just consider a particle of mass and a linear momentum p at a position r bar relative to the horizon O, okay. That is what, right. Next, the angular momentum L of the particle, with respect to the horizon O, the angular momentum capital L of the particle, right, with respect to the horizon O is defined to be, okay. That is what, right, that is what here, see here. So L is the symbol, here we use to represent linear momentum in case of a single particle, okay, right. So consider a particle of mass m and linear momentum p at a position r bar relative to the horizon O, okay, right. The angular momentum L of the particle with respect to horizon O is defined to be L is equal to r bar cross p bar, that is what rp sin theta. So this you can write it as like either r into p perpendicular or r perpendicular into p, perpendicular, or see over r perpendicular into p, right. So without any of these things you can write. Next, for deriving the relation, in the context of a single particle, right, while deriving the relation in the context of single particle, here what can we write? We differentiate, that is what L is equal to r bar cross p bar with respect to time, that is what dl by dt is equal to d by dt of r bar cross p bar, right, r bar cross p bar. That is, you can write it as, it is like just we are differentiating mathematically with respect to time, okay. And before going to discuss this, that is what differentiation of this equation with respect to time, once you focus on the things belongs to the angular momentum. That is what here, when this angular momentum becomes 0, when r is equal 0 or p is equal 0, or the angle will be either 0 or 180. 0 or 180. In all these three cases, the angular momentum is 0. Angular momentum is 0, right? And the representation already I told you, whether it is r into p perpendicular or r perpendicular into p, whatever it may be. Okay, right. So now as usual, that is what r perpendicular into p, r perpendicular into p, or r into p, right? So okay, it is a representation. And one more thing, that is what angular momentum is also a vector quantity. Angular momentum is also a vector quantity. Okay, right. So now you come to the point of mathematical treatment, that is what dl by dt is equal to d by dt of r bar cross p bar. It is like for our convenience we took it as equation 2, second equation, right? Okay, applying the product rule for differentiation here, applying the product rule for differentiation here, then we will get like this, that is what d by dt of r bar cross p bar, d by dt of r bar cross p bar, that is equal to d by dt of r bar cross p bar, that is equal to dr bar by dt into p bar plus r bar into dp bar by dt. It is what one formula in differentiation we are using, right? So from this step to this step, I am not talking about any physics concept, right? It is just a pure mathematical treatment, right? So from this step, if you apply product rule, you will get this step. Now the velocity of the particle is v is equal to dr bar by dt. That's you know very well, because velocity is the rate of change of displacement, and p is equal to mv. P is equal to mv. Okay, right. So when you take it as p is equal to mv and v is equal to dr by dt, observe carefully, this one, see here, dl by dt is equal to d by dt of r bar cross p bar is equal to, and this whole term will become 0. This whole term will become 0, because why? Because it is v bar, no, it is v bar, and p is equal to mv, no, p is equal to mv. So v bar cross v bar means what will happen? Vv sin 0, because velocity is the vector. If you are getting the vector product of two vectors, I mean the same vector, then what will happen? Vv sin 0. So sin 0 is equal to 0. So this term will become 0. Then this is the only remaining. This is the only remaining, right? So that we are writing 0 plus r bar cross f bar, that is equal to tau bar, right? So what is here? If you differentiate angular momentum with respect to time, which is equal to tau bar, so you can write that tau bar is equal to dl by dt. Tau bar is equal to dl by dt. It is analog to Newton's second law in laws of motion chapter, right? And it is analogous to the Newton's second law in case of translatory motion, right? There we have written F is equal to dp by dt. Capital F force is equal to dp by dt. So here tau bar is equal to dl by dt. So it is like Newton's second law for rotational motion. Newton's second law for rotational motion, right? Okay. Now we are going to see torque and angular momentum for a system of particles. So till now we discussed torque and angular momentum for a single particle. For a single particle, the concept is same, just we are going to extend for a group of particles. Okay, see this. So you can write this one. Small l is the angular momentum of a single particle. If you take a rigid body, which is the combination of n number of particles, so as simple as such, you can write this expression mathematically. That is what capital L is equal to L1 plus L2 plus dash 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 plus Ln. And the same thing you can replace by using summation symbol. That is what sigma I is equal to 1 to n Li. It is what equation 3 according to our convenience. Okay, right. And now I can write like this now. That is what for one single, okay, for ith particle, whether it is first particle or second particle, that will be different. And for ith particle, Li is equal to Ri cross Pi. Okay, and I am going to extend for whole body, that is what rigid body. You know, capital L is equal to sigma Li, that is equal to sigma into Ri cross Pi. Same thing I am writing here, ma. It is like equation 4, right? Okay. So equation 1 in the same class before 10 minutes I told you tau bar is equal to r bar cross f bar Rf sin theta, right? So tau bar is equal to r bar cross f bar is equation 1 and it is what equation 4. From these two equations, what can we write? See this, dl by dt is equal to d by dt of sigma Li, that is equal to sigma I into dLi by dt, that is equal to sigma I into tau I. Sigma I, that is what, not into, ma, sigma tau I. Sigma tau I, right? Are you okay with this derivation? That is what I am writing on the board here, right? Just I am going to differentiate with respect to time. This is also same, and then in place of Li is also same, right? Just taking sigma out, and in place of dLi by dt I am writing tau. Okay, right. Now from this, that is what here sigma I into tau I is equal to sigma Ri into Fi. It is what the definition of torque, mathematical expression of torque. Here tau is equal to tau external for tau internal, right? Tau is equal to tau external plus tau internal, right? And two things, ma, you also know that in case of translatory motion we experienced with external force and internal force, and there itself, right, there itself, you know, if you talk about the body, and internal forces means the force which are the forces which binds the molecules and which gives the shape of the object and which make up the object. But whereas if you are going to talk about the displacement of an object, then you need to consider the external force, right? So the role of external force is only present to displace the body from one place to another place, right? Related concept we discussed in this chapter when we were in a discussion about center of mass, right? It's very clear, I told you. So the role of internal forces regarding the motion of center of mass is nothing, is zero, right? Only there is a contribution because of external force, right? And the movement of your body according to this concept, that is what a system of particles, right? According to this chapter and regarding the starting class of this chapter, that is what introduction, I told you strongly, right? So the body means is a center of mass. A body means we are taking it as a point where the total mass of an object supposed to concentrate. That is what we are calling it as center of mass. Okay. So here I want to conclude that in case of rotational motion, there is no effect or there is no role of internal. That is what tau internal we need not to consider. So this already we know, that is tau is equal to dl by dt, and we are writing that dl by dt is equal to tau external. dl by dt is equal to tau external. Here itself you read this information, that is what the time rate of the total angular momentum of a system of particles about a point O, okay, about a point is equal to the sum of the external torques acting on the system taken about the same point. Taken about the same point. He is talking about this is what actually mathematical representation, and the same thing he is writing in terms of matter, matter, okay, that is what. So at last you can write this is already we know, this is the analog of this expression, that is what dp by dt is equal to f external. It is what we are writing in case of derivation of Newton's second law of motion, no? So that is what dl by dt is equal to tau external. You know, if tau external is equal to 0, then what about this L? L is a constant. That is what law of conservation of angular momentum. Law of conservation of angular momentum. Okay. So if total external torque on a system of particles is 0, then the total angular momentum of the system is conserved. I will repeat once again. if the total external torque on a system of particles is 0, then the total angular momentum of the system is conserved. That is what the total momentum of the system, the total angular momentum of the system remains constant, which is what is called as law of conservation of angular momentum. Law of conservation of angular momentum. Okay, that's what I want to say, right? So in case of linear momentum, we discussed the law of conservation of linear momentum, right? So in the topic of collisions in the last chapter, work power energy, so we discussed about law of conservation of angular momentum while discussing about types of collisions, so elastic collisions and inelastic collisions, right? So here it is what law of conservation of angular momentum in case of rotational motion. Okay, right. So in this class we focused to learn what is torque and angular momentum, but initially we applied or we discussed torque and angular momentum for a single particle. Afterwards we extended the same discussion to the group of particles, that is what system of particles, which is nothing but a rigid body, okay. Afterwards we came to discuss torque and angular momentum relation, that is what tau is equal to dl by dt, and we discussed the role of tau internal, it is 0, right? So that dl by dt is equal to tau external. At last we discussed what is law of conservation of angular momentum. Okay, right. Thank you. We will continue in the next class.